Edmondson.
Got it looking nice.
Does it feel good?
Yeah, it's very comfortable, isn't it?
Yes, it suits you in your donkey jacket and everything as well.
There's nice drapes.
Yeah, you like my drapes.
Look, as I've got a plant coming out of my head, it does, doesn't it?
Foliage, or foliage, as our director says.
I need a bit more up top
coming
anyway.
out there. No, it's fine. You're just nicely positioned in between now. Yeah. Do you know? Do you know what I used to love? One of the many things I used to love about Bottom, when it first began particularly, was the way the continuity announcers at the BBC used to say, and now time for Bottom.
I know.
And you could tell that
we originally called it My Bottom, so that it would be kind of more problem, you know. And now for My Bottom. And now, Rick Mail in My Bottom.
Just to make those announcers say My Bottom, in My Bottom.
Continuity nightmare.
Is there a type of performance which is easier than any other? Because, I mean, we saw a clip from Bottom there, Young Ones, Filthy Rich and Cat Flap, but there's been a lot of straight work that you've done, a lot of straight roles, serious roles. Is there one that's easier to do?
Well, it sounds arrogant if you say there is, isn't it? But I find comedy slightly easier, I must say. It's actually less fulfilling because it's easier to do. I get a bit bored with it in the end. I'm getting bored with it now.
Is that why? Well, yeah, because you're halfway through an enormous tour of Bottom with Rick. But is that partly why the novel writing happened?
Well, I've always been a writer. I mean, I've always been writing for Rick and myself. And I've always kind of dabbled with bits of prose. You know, I wrote a page of a novel at school. But, you know, it just didn't get very far. So I look upon myself mostly as a writer, because if you write for television, you spend 3/4 of the year sitting at home writing.
But writing for you and for Rick, I mean, you've known each other 20 years, is completely different, sitting down and writing about this character, Julian Mann. Now, we did a sort of, or is it? Quite. Who is Julian Mann?
Well,
Please name names, because everyone's going to ask you, and I
He's a kind of amalgam. I mean, I'm 38 and he's 38, and he's a comedian like me, and he's got a kind of sitcom a bit like Blackadder. And he's based on everyone I know, really. It would be stupid to say it was autobiographical, because my wife would divorce me.
Yeah, she would. What did the famous Jennifer Saunders of television fame, who also happens to be your wife, think when she read this character, Julian Mann, as we say, a lecher, an alcoholic, friend to no one, and it goes downhill after that, doesn't it? Well, what did she think?
Well, I think she knows me better to know that it isn't me. You know, it would be suicidal to write about yourself and then show it to your wife.
But it's a vitriolic account of the business that you're in.
Well, it's a kind of honest opinion, you know. So most people of my age are fairly cynical, and I think it's a kind of fair view of the biz. Most people are kind of vapid and shallow, and so they are in the book.
And having everybody at every possible juncture in life, really, it seemed in the book.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm just wondering if that's... Well, no, I mean, you know, I'm just wondering if that is what it's like at your end of the business, because it's not like it here at Pebble Mill, I tell you.
Yeah?
Well, I don't think so. Maybe I haven't found it yet.
Have you got Alan Titmarsh into your dressing room yet?
No. No, I haven't. Right. What have you heard? Do you and Jennifer get involved with each other's work?
Not a great deal. I mean, there's a kind of common perception that we've worked together a lot, but we haven't really. We've been in the same kind of shows. But we're generally quite separate. She shows me stuff she works on, because she's kind of confident and very clever. But I always wait till I've finished something completely before I show it to her.
You let her see.
In case she sniggers in the wrong way.
And then there's the other marriage in your life.
Is there?
Sort of marriage that Rick Mail.
Oh, yes.
Going back 20 years, Manchester University. Was it love at first sight with you two?
It was. I mean, we were identical twins when we turned up. I mean, we'd both been to similar kind of schools, and both arrived with dressing gowns our mums had sent us, sort of Marks and Spencer's Paisley pattern, and had the same record collection, and both smoked number 6, and, you know, both wanted to take the piss out of more intellectual people, which is where we started, really.
Do you still surprise each other? Do you still make each other laugh?
We jump out at each other all the time.
Back to those corridors again.
No, we do make each other laugh. It's the only reason we carry on. When we're actually writing Bottom, it's the most fun we have.
How do you divide up that task?
I sit at a keyboard, and he paces up and down behind me. It's
He never does the keyboard then?
No. No, it's a common rule amongst double acts who write, I think, that one sits and the other paces. Some people try and kind of mix writing groups up, but you can never put two pacers together or two writers.
So when you finish this tour, it'll have been how long?
It'll have been 13 weeks.
It's a long time.
It is very long.
And
I don't mind touring, really. I mean, doing the show is great fun, you know, it's all kind of lively and you know, you get instant gratification from the audience, but kind of spending your days in Holiday Inns. I mean, Holiday Inns are very nice, don't get me wrong, but, you know, they're all the same.
When you get to week 6, does it all begin to just work like clockwork and you don't really have to think about what you're going to do when you go on?
Well, you have to have about half an hour's preparation, but that means, you know, if you wake up at 7 every morning, which I do, you've got kind of 12 hours to fill before you have to start worrying.
So would you ever try and sort of catch Rick out on a night, you know, get him stumped over a line or something?
No, I mean, we got a fairly loose arrangement on stage now because we're better at what we do than we used to be. So it's kind of looser, and we can go in and out of the script and kind of
so at the end of the tour,
improvise things.
Do you suddenly feel terribly lonely, or are you ready to go and do something solo again?
No, at the end of the tour, we say goodbye to each other and don't see each other for 6 months. Because, I mean, we spend all day long in each other's faces, and it's just incredibly pleasant.
Refreshing. A nice rest.
Yes.
To go back and be with your family. Well, good luck with the rest of the tour.
Well, thank you.
The Gobbler is the book by Edmondson, and it's a wonderful book. Absolutely terrific. And thank you for being with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Edmondson.
Thank you.
Well, it's Chris.